Hi, and welcome to the Divine Temple. I am Reverend NamShakti, and here we are with Alexandra. And these are conversations that we're having about family constellations and just the healing, how wonderful it is, and just the healing energy when we do constellate and when we do our inner work and everything to do with ancestors. And so the first video that we did, it was about healing prosperity, and prosperity comes not just in money, but it comes in success and relationships. It comes in fertility. I mean, it comes in a lot of things. In this video now, we're actually going to speak about relationships and how it affects us in family constellations. And we're just going to give you some examples. And if you have any questions, you can always email us. You can always send us a message so we can help you and guide you through the process of healing. And we also meet once a week on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. East Coast time. We meet for 1 hour. It is based on donations, so you can join us. Your presence is a donation to us as well. And you can donate your time, you can donate financially if you want to, whatever it is that you want. We accept it. We are growing and expanding, and we're here to do this healing work, and we honor as we're doing the work. And so, Alexandra, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, so today we wanted to speak about relations, and I think family constellation is almost everything about relations, just depending on partnerships or whatever. And last time we spoke about prosperity, and that we had a big explanation on the movement towards the mother, which is really important. And if it comes to relationships, it always is necessary also to consider what place of consciousness you are looking for a relationship. Are you still looking for the relationship, looking for the father, or looking for the support of the mother? There are different ways which really can be shown in a family constellation. So most of the time, of course, we want to get love. We want to have a good, reliable relationship. And if there are any problems, there are so many different root causes that can come out of the family system, which you can clear with the constellation. So like we spoke last time, it could be the movements toward the mother. It could be also honoring the father. Because sometimes if we do constellations, we see that we're looking out for the father maybe we didn't have, the father we were longing for. And a lot of times we are looking for the same feeling we had as a children, even if it was a bad feeling. So we choose the same partners out of the system with addictive behaviors or whatever, because we wanted to be close with our dad, for example, or with our mom or whoever is reflecting that. Yeah.
Totally. And we saw it in one of our weeks constellations here when someone was actually having issues with a partner, and it came out that she was actually still having issues with the dad and mad at the dad. And I see it a lot with women when they constellate. It's always the father. The relationship with the dad is damaged, or they never had a relationship or something. And that's the reason why the same pattern happens in a relationship, which makes total sense of why we're attracting these relationships in our lives, because it has to do with the relationships that we had with our parents. We're searching for love.
Exactly. Lots of times we are still repeating the relationships of our parents, even if we made this swear we're never going to act like our parents when we are in our teenager age.
Well,
we never wanted to become like our parents do, but usually it can lead us the same way. So it's also a matter I wanted to point out. We have people that had an adoption. They were just adopted, and even if the parents have been really loving parents, it's always necessary that they also have this connection to the biological parents, because they are connected to them. And sometimes you could see that there are not only 2 ancestor lines, but also kind of 4, because the ones you came in, they also support, because that's just the way it is. So you also can see that adoption can be, sometimes you have 4 behind you. I had this already. So you have the stepfather or the stepmother line as well, because they choose to have you. And that's really very intense to feel that you are, even if somebody left you, if the mom had to give you away or gave you away, or the dad did, that somebody else wanted you, took care of you, that you are loved, not because they had to take you, because they want to take you. And that's a big healing process as well that needs to be realized. I experience, if people see that in a constellation, they get so much respect of those parents taking them. And of course, if you have a good relation, or if you are feeling safe with your mom and your dad, you're usually also choosing a partner who is honoring you as well. And it comes to the point where you really, if you're looking for a real relationship, if you're really asking yourself, from what consciousness I'm looking for a new partner. Do I look for a new partner because I want to love, because I want to be, like, I'm a woman, I want to be a good woman, and I want to have a good relation with a man? Or are you doing it out of, I need something out of the relationship?
So beautiful the way you explain that, because it's true. Most of us are looking for love in just anyone. I had a boyfriend once who already had an agenda of how he wanted to his wife to be and his woman to be, and he didn't matter if it was me or whoever it was this agenda of how he wanted that relationship to be. So we have to be conscious of how we're choosing our relationships and where is it coming from, because like you said, we can be choosing from a different viewpoint of wanting something and then we're miserable. It's not going to lead us to a good relationship. We're going to be miserable because we're going to be repeating the same cycles that our ancestors did and what they do, and it comes back to us and what we're willing to do.
Yes. So if you really cleared your movement to the mom and the dad, even if they died already, this is the really good point in family constellation. You can speak on soul level. You speak words you couldn't speak at the time when you were little, but you recognizing that energy. And this is the one aspect that you can heal with the constellation work. But sometimes the partner is already standing for someone else from an ancestor before in the system, and you choose the other partner because of same fate, so that you fit to each other, that kind of like the victim and perpetrator belong together, that you really look out for a partner that wants to heal the same pattern than you do. And so it's very healthy looking at it. For example, if there's betrayal, it can be really that there was a big marriage vow before your parents married to another woman or to another man, and this can affect you, or there can be jealousy between the siblings, between the children, because one is reflecting a former partner that was not honored or was kicked off or whatever. So there are so many aspects to look at, and you never can say, because each family is so unique.
Yeah. And wow. It comes back to us doing things with integrity and doing things with love, because when we do things with integrity, then, our family system really gets to heal. And we know that right now things are more acceptable, but back in the days of our ancestors, things were not that acceptable. Like the husband leaving or the woman leaving, or they had same marriages and the husband cheated or the woman cheated. It's like none of this was okay. I'm not saying it's okay now, but I'm just saying it was really taboo and a lot of secrets and things like that. So if we look at our relationships now, and then all that we've been through and our partners, we can see that we're repeating the cycles of our parents. And I see myself repeating my mom's cycles. And I'm so glad for family constellations that I was able to be like, okay, this is not going to happen again. I'm done with it. I see it for what it is. I take responsibility for my part, and then I let it go, because that's pretty much what we need to do in constellations, is look at it, acknowledge it, accept it, love it, send love to it, and let it go. Because letting it go from a place of love and integrity and wanting to do things the right way, it's what heals our family system, and it's what heals the patterns that keep repeating themselves.
Yes. And it's really also to know if I'm living in a very difficult relationship, that it might be that my partner is really carrying something of the ancestral line. And so he's not totally himself. So if I heal that, if I give the opportunity, or he's working on it, no matter, you can do it from your point with the partner, and something can show up, things can start to change, because as you honor him, and as he honors, maybe, if that's what's showing up in the system, what happened to the ancestor, or what happened the ancestors with women, whatever showed up, then he lets this energy flow, and then there is much more presence. Usually what we experience, or I experience after constellations, that people say now they are more present, they're more here, because something that was a burden left.
Yeah, and that's the burden that we are carrying out of love, out of love. We're carrying all this heaviness from our ancestors because we're trying to heal it for them. And in reality is that when we really surrender to love and surrender to this divine presence, this divine energy that is flowing through us, that's already here within us, we just have to tap into it. We can let go. And you don't have to do this through family constellations. Like, you can do this through meditation and really having that, connecting to that source. But what I love about family constellations is that it shows us what's the root cause of it and where is it coming from. And you'll be so surprised that when you're fighting with your partner, or you're having all these issues with your partner, or you're attracting the same partner, it's not coming from you. It's coming from this energy, that you feel like you are bond and connected to your ancestors, that you have to fix things for them. And the moment that we can see it and let it go, that's when the transformation happens, where things start shifting. And obviously, we're human beings. We're always going to have things we have to clear and things we have to heal. That's just natural. It's just who we are. We're always working on ourselves. But the more we surrender to this presence and love, the more that we can be in the embodiment of healing, which it can transform all that we are here to do.
Yeah, you're so right. And there's one point I would like to mention if we're about partnerships, because as you said before, 50 years before, you married one woman or one man, you had to stay together. The cultural pressure was so high, you would not leave. It was just common. So times changed. But also it's really important that if you are in a second or third partnership, that the first partners need to be honored. And that's something that's really important. If there are lots of troubles with the children, and also with jealousy, it's usually because the first partners have not been honored. And you need to be sure, if those did not leave, the partner you are having now a relationship with, you wouldn't have a relationship. So you need to say thank you, or are grateful that they left, that they gave space, that you could come, and that you are now happy or want to be happy with that woman or man. And that's really, really a big issue if there are troubles with jealousy and whatever, or also if the children have lots of problems, or the parents have children with one or two that they're just behaving different than they think they should. It can come out because the first partners have not been honored. That's a big issue coming up, that our ancestors not had in that big manner, because you just didn't depart. Yeah.
Just this is great, because you just have to honor each partner. I know that from my experience, when I honored my husband's ex-wife, the mother of their children, I gave her place. I noticed a big shift in me, because I remember that I felt some kind of like energy towards her in the day that I honored her and I gave her place. Thank God for family constellations, that I was able to give her place and honor her. Like, this energy of love transmuted in me, not just in me, like I saw shifts in her as well. And And even though we're not best friends, like when I see her, I do feel some sort of love towards her, and I do honor her, and I give her her place because she deserves that place. That is who she was. I was a baby then,
Yes.
because my husband is older than me, but I give her her place, and it really shifted our relationship as well, me and my husband. So that's a great point, and the fact that I can give you my experience with my relationship,
Yes.
that I seen the shift happen when I did that, when I honored her.
It does, and makes the partnership way more secure, because then if you give somebody else the seat, the place, you are is stable as well, because you don't need to sit on two chairs. Yeah, you just know this is mine and it's enough. You are not in the struggle anymore, fighting to be the new partner or needing to be better or whatever, because it was the honoring and the gratitude for the former partner. The past has passed, and everything gets its value, and your new partner or your partner, he was also formed by the partner he had before. So it's really a relief to give everybody the place they deserve. It brings lots of peace into the system.
Yeah. And this goes back, like if we're having again relationship issues, whether it's jealousy, or you're jealous of the ex, or you don't want to accept that he had an ex, and all these energies that you're feeling, because we feel it, it's low vibes, and you're sending these negative energy towards the ex. Like,
Yes.
take a minute and just honor them. Just say, I honor you, I give you your place as his partner or her partner, and that is going to shift. Like, you'll notice a big shift just by doing that.
Yes.
This is sending a different vibe to not just the relationship, but the children, if there's children involved, because there's always drama with, they say, like baby mama drama,
Mm-hmm.
or the father drama. There's always some kind of drama there. So the honoring is what's important when it comes to this. I love this. I just love family.
Yes. And it's really what I had in my work, that if a former partner is really not honored, it can be that one of the children takes the seat for them, and then they get into trouble, the parents with the children, and he only holds, he has the feeling, it's out of the system, that he wants to make sure that everybody belongs to. So he is really holding that energy in the actual present, which belongs to the past. And this is solved with the family constellation. Everybody gets its place, everybody gets honored, the healing sentences are spoken, the emotions get released, and then if everybody has his comfortable place, everybody is in peace, an energy shift takes place. So it's always very, very, you really should, if your children are really having problems, sometimes I had it when they had problems with school, sometimes they had this ADHS or whatever, it might be because they're entangled with a former partner, and hold the place for them.
Mm. And then if your partner, I think this is another big thing too, like if the partner ends up leaving, and then you're a lone mom and you're taking care of the children, and if one of the oldest children is helping you, that child could also take the place in spiritually as the partner, not real, but spiritually it takes the place, and then it inhibits for the child to find an actual partner, and inhibits the mother or so and so to actually find a partner because that place is taken. So it's important that we give our children their place as children. We take our place as the grown up, and that we do everything from a place of love, from honoring our partners, because sometimes we don't, if the father goes away and never is part of the system, we don't honor them. We just try to forget about them, but we have to give them their place. Everyone has to be seen in the family system. And
Right.
you learn so much more in our training, because this is just some of the things that we're going to be talking about in our training. The training is going to have everything that has to do with healing all this ancestral and our energetically how we vibe, so we can start really having relationships that are honored and are loved, and then we can heal, not just for us, but our children. I always think about our children because I think about my kids and I think about how I want them to live a good life where they don't have to carry all of our baggage.
Yes. And as this is going on for a year, you also have the challenge, the opportunity to really work on all your issues as well, because it needs some times. And now we said so many issues what could be a problem in a partnership. So maybe some people get afraid and say, oh my God, I have to clear so much, but usually you only carry one. Yeah. And it's the duty of the one who's doing the constellation to help you find out, or with the participants, it gets cleared. Nobody is carrying 2 or 3 different themes. That's very rarely, really. So if you are going through this training, you will have enough time to clear as well your lines and get used how to feel into the system and figure out what's here, what needs healing, and how can this be solved.
Mm-hmm. So if you have any questions about the relationships and anything, you can join us every Wednesday. And if you want to dive deeper into healing your ancestry, you want to dive deeper into the knowledge, and anyone can do this. Anyone can become a facilitator. But if you want to if you're already coaching or you're a therapist, and you want to just get this information to grow and help your clients differently, join us on this marvelous training. It is something that we put together that's going to really change, uplift, and is going to transform you so beautifully. So we are very, very excited to do this training.
We are.
We felt the calling from Spirit, and Spirit is leading us towards this path of doing this, not just for us, but for humanity, because we know that we need it. We know we need it.
Yes.
So cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.